What was it that made you want to take the plunge to, I'm going to become a trainer on my own?
Well, I think it was just the ambition and to, to try and prove myself. And, after learning what I did from Tony Finesse, and not only a great man, he's a very good friend of mine, and he taught me most of what I know. And I felt it was time for me to get out there and prove the people that supported me, prove them right. So.
Welcome to another edition of Horses to Follow for KwaZulu-Natal with Andrew Harrison and myself, Warren Enfern, and it gives us great pleasure to introduce our guest today, who is Vaughn Marshall, trainer Vaughn Marshall. Vaughn, lovely to have you with us. Thank you for your time and welcome.
Thank you, Warren. Thanks for having me.
The show is about you, and of course it's a big weekend, and I said to somebody earlier on this morning, Andrew, at the track, sad in a way, but health and safety, etc. comes first, and that's behind closed doors. It's not going to be the same, and we'll be working, and it's just sad that we can't have the owners and the punters and all at the races, but thank God we're racing. That's the most important thing. So it's a big weekend. But Vaughn, the show is about you, and we want to hear about you. And for those that might not know you, and for those that are watching this and learning about you, how did it all start for you? Where did it start? How many years ago? And how did you hear about this wonderful horse racing game?
Warren, it was a long, long time ago. I had an uncle by the name of L.P. Addison, Lewis Addison, who had a lot of good horses in training with Herman Brown Sr., namely Snow Forest and that Snow, all of them were Snow something, the really top horses. And we lived in Zululand at the time, and all his old throwouts he sent up to my dad at the farm, and we trained them for Gymkhana meetings at Malmouth, Richmond, Kwambonambi, and that's how it all started, But then after that, obviously I went to boarding school in Maritzburg, and that sort of cricket and rugby took over.
You were quite a good cricketer.
Some would say so. Some would say so.
You should have been playing Springboks.
No, we could hit a ball now and again, but it was a wonderful time. And then, of course, after school, I had to go to university, which wasn't my choice. I didn't really want to go, but we went to university, and I bailed out after the second year. And then I was offered a contract to go and play cricket in England by Tony Gregg, which my mum tore up the contract, so I had to think again. And then I worked for my mum and dad for a while, and then I couldn't work in an office any longer, and I joined Alistair Gordon as an assistant for a couple of years, and then went to Tony Finesse.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah. So you worked for Dixon, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, sure, that's nicely put. Now, when you went on your own, you trained for the very first, you'd obviously have been through the ranks and the assistants, and what was it that made you want to take the plunge to, I'm going to become a trainer on my own?
Well, I think it was just the ambition and to, to try and prove myself. And, after learning what I did from Tony Finesse, and not only a great man, he's a very good friend of mine, and he taught me most of what I know. And I felt it was time for me to get out there and prove the people that supported me, prove them right. So I got my license, and my first day at work was 1st of April 1981, and it wasn't an April Fool's joke either. So. But from there we went on. My first winner was the 15th of July that year, which happened to be my dad's birthday. So we went on from there.
The Vaughan, you started at Clarewood.
Yes, I was at Clarewood for a while. We bought a property up in Montclair Road, 82 Montclair Road, but then after a couple of years they demolished the bridge where the horses used to walk across over the railway line. Yes. So then I moved to Ashburton. I was the first trainer at Ashburton.
Yeah, you trained with a lot of old boys.
Skellums, yeah.
But I remember, talk about that Ashburton.
No, it was a good place in those days. I mean, I used to go there in the mornings. It was like a comedy show. I mean, you had Dave Goss, you had Nick Feldman
with his bra,
Brian Cunningham, Ann Upton was there. Robin Watkinson was there.
Well, Paul Lafferty, wasn't he around, or did he come later?
He came later. Yeah, he came later.
Him and Herman Jr.
Yeah.
Darren Fur.
Darren Fur. Yeah.
Okay, she's saying. And Andrew, of course, you'll remember those days. I mean, you've been at Ashburton your whole life, so. Yeah, okay. And Vaughn, To talk about some of well, then you moved to Cape Town, of course. So
No. Then I moved back to Clearwood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Clearwood.
And then in 1999, my late wife was killed in a car accident, and the children were in. Stephen and his sister Kate were in Cape Town, and I decided to relocate then to spend more time with them. But as life is, after a couple of months, they packed up and disappeared. So I was left in Cape Town.
Stephen, talking about your kids, Stephen and Kate, I haven't had the privilege of meeting Kate, but Stephen is a colleague of ours and Durban boy and doing good things with us at Gold Circle. You've got to be proud of him.
Warren and I am extremely proud of him. You know, it was a hard decision for me to make. He wanted to come into the racing game.
Yes, he was very much. Oh, sorry to interrupt you. He was also wanted to get training and get
very
involved.
Much so. And you know, I wouldn't say that I'm wise and old and wise, but I just thought that it was such a difficult game, and I could see that it wasn't really growing as we would anticipate it.
Sure.
So I just said to him, well, if you can branch out to something else, I would suggest you do that. And thankfully, I've been proved correct at this stage.
Yeah, he's got second best now. So
yeah, he's still there.
But racing's changed over the years.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
not like it used to be.
No,
it's
absolutely.
much more difficult now.
Yeah.
You know, it's just talking on that note, chaps, as you said, just to try and get, and we continually do that, to try and get new people involved and try and market the game and just, you know, you need money and not everyone's got spare cash, and you don't need heaps, you do need heaps of money, but you can also get involved and you can invest, you know, small amounts of cash, take little shares and partnerships, etc., small bets. So it is tough, but yeah, he's certainly we enjoy working with him, and he's done well. So as I said, as a dad, if we as his colleagues are proud of him, as a dad, you're going to be even more proud.
Extremely proud of him.
Yeah, no, well, that's fantastic. Yeah. And Kate, what does she do?
Well, Kate's married and lives in Kentucky, Missouri,
okay.
And her husband is a dental technician. They've got their own little business there, doing very, very well. And she was due to come out in August, but obviously things have been put on hold. So she's doing very, very well.
Yeah. Vaughn, let's go back now to all the horses that you've trained. I mean, which horse really put you on the map?
Well, I'd like to say it was my first winner, 8 Mile Rock. He was a very, very good horse.
I remember he did won a few other races.
He had a lot of problems. He suffered from cystic fibrosis. And at the time, my late wife was a nurse at Addington, and we worked on him, and we found a cure for that. Not a cure, but something to manage him with. And it worked a dream, and he ended up winning 5 or 6 races.
That's right, yeah.
But what
you
was
raced in your colours?
No, my dad's colours,
Dad's colours,
yeah. Well, they were my colours now, yes.
I remember the spots, yes.
Yeah. But I mean, what made it more remarkable as far as he was concerned is that after his second win, he did a tendon, and I patched him up after that, and then he came back and he won again, and he did the other tendon. Sure. So he ended up winning 6 races, and after each race, I had to patch him up again. But he was a lovely horse, he really was.
But you've had some really top horses, especially in the old days. I mean, you had Taban, who was a top sprinter.
Yeah, he was a very, very good horse, and people forget about Dolphin Ditty. You know, she won 8 out of her first 11 starts.
Yeah.
So what was her name? Dolphin Ditty.
Dolphin Ditty. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Robbie Fradd used to ride.
Yeah. Okay. And I put Robbie Fradd in a Group 1 when he was still an apprentice, and everyone thought I was mad. We just got touched off on the line. Yeah.
But Robbie was your apprentice, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah. I remember he used to come up to you.
Yeah, Mr. Genman came to me one day, phoned me, and he said, I want to speak to you. So I went to the Jockey Club offices, and he said to me, I want you to take an apprentice. And as it happens, about 3 months before, I had applied for an apprentice, and he said, no, I was too young. So then I said, what's changed? You know, why 3 months later, now you want to give me a apprentice? He said, well, there's a young man here who we can't discipline properly, and it's his last chance. And if he doesn't make it with you, we're going to chuck him out. So I said, all right, if you're going to do that, then I'll take him. And the rest is history. You know, he's turned out to be a top rider.
And still, I mean, I watched him. James Rich was at home with us a couple of days ago, and we were watching some overseas racing, Australian racing. He is riding like a demon possessed, Robbie Fradd. He's a
top rider.
Top rider.
Really well, he had a good mentor.
Absolutely, absolutely. But also, you know, you're mentioning Taban and Dolphin Ditty, but I mean, of course, then all those horses, those top ones that you're getting to, that you've trained that have become stallions. I mean, that's an achievement, a highlight on its own.
Yeah, look, I'm very privileged to train those horses, you know, and they possibly made me rather than me make them, but you know, they were very, very good horses. And one forgets a horse that people won't even remember that I trained a horse called Silvino. who was a top horse. He won the King's Cup after his first run in 18 months.
Sure.
And he broke the course record, beating a very good horse of Peter Cannemeyer's. And he became a stallion, but his career was a bit interrupted and he wasn't given a full chance. But he still threw some decent horses, you know.
Yeah, you must also remember Vaughn trained a Gold Cup winner, Floating Casino.
Okay.
Yeah, and a Gilbey's winner, and both by the same sire, by Home Guard. Yeah.
Okay.
And your first guineas was Sea Warrior.
Sea Warrior in Cape Town, yes.
From 16.
Yeah.
Milnerton near Ben.
Yeah.
Gee, there's nothing wrong with your memory.
No, that was a brilliant ride.
Yeah. And if you see the film of that race, I mean, that Southeaster blue. Yeah. I've never seen a Southeaster like that in my life.
Sure. Yeah, to win from 16 draw at Milnerton near Ben.
No, he was well drawn that day. He was well drawn.
Was he?
No, he was drawn 6 or 7. No,
was he? I thought he was 16.
But Mace wanted to tuck him in. I said in the parade ring, I said, you tuck him in and I'll tuck into you.
That's a lovely chirp. Tuck him in, I'll tuck into you.
Yeah. But you've had how many Guinness winners since then?
I've had 5 altogether. Yeah.
And the Group 1 winners. What's the score now, Vaughan?
Warren, I think it's about 36 or 37. I think.
So it's
still an apprentice.
And Vaughan, to train horses, I mean, it's obviously you've got the eye, you've got the talent, and we're lucky to have some top quality horsemen and horse ladies in our country. But it's just, I suppose it becomes second nature. You know, you with your horses every day, and you just love it. And what is it that you enjoy most about these horses?
Yeah, I think it's the routine, Warren. You know, horses are animals of routine, and if you disrupt that routine, then you got a problem. But over and above that, I played cricket and rugby, and I kept myself reasonably fit. And I don't think it's any different training a racehorse. You know how to get yourself fit. You can move it into the horse world, and you can get them fit. But it's where the difficult part is if you pick a specific race 2 months time, and you have to have him ready for that race at 5 minutes past 3 or something like that. Then that becomes more difficult. But I mean, to train a winner, it's like getting a horse fit, and then you just run him every 3 weeks, and eventually you'll win a race. But I think if you earmark certain races, and you've got to work hard at that, and it takes a lot of hard work.
Yeah, so basically it's an art form, because there's a lot of trainers who have been training for a long time and they haven't managed to do that.
Yeah,
but it's a special skill.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yes, you know, and it's something that dare I say that you possibly born with. You know, you can't really learn or pick up things. You can learn certain things, but not that. You know.
But Vaughan, you must have a very good eye for a horse. I mean, for a young horse. I mean,
well, thank you.
The horses that you picked. I mean, the Captain Owls and William Longsword they're all outstanding individuals on their own.
Yeah, I think they were all very similar in build, and same as Linebacker now. He's very similar to them. So I do pick a certain kind of horse.
Funny enough, chatting to some of the photographers who photograph around the country, and they all seem to, each trainer, as you say, pick a certain horse. You know that's a Marshall horse, and you know that's a Roberts horse, and you know that's a Howells horse, and so it goes. And Vaughan, you very much, I was going to say you seem to be, you're not seem to be, you are a very quiet, humble guy. You go about your business in your own quiet way. And what's it like now, a couple of days before the Vodacom Durban July, and do the nerves set in? How do you tell you? Are you letting it go with the flow, or you little jumpy?
No, the butterflies are there, the same as they were when I played cricket, exactly the same. I don't think anything changes, but especially with Jenny not being with me, and you know, she calms me down a bit. But yeah, it's nerve wracking. It really is.
There's a very good product on the market at the moment called Prozen. You can take some of that.
Or rescue tablets or something. I was going to say rescue tablets.
I'll settle for a glass of Sauvignon Blanc.
Well, you can't because it's banned at the moment.
I have stock. I
was going to say that. I laughed just off the talk about the bans and the closing of the bottle stores, and you know, most of us, I won't say all because there are some non-drinkers and we respect that, but most of us enjoy a glass of wine or a gin or a whiskey or so. And I was at home the other day, and of course the announcement came through, and my wife shouts through, she says, "Are we going to be okay?" I said, "Are we going to be okay? Are you joking?" I said, "Open this cupboard." And she said, "Oh gosh." I said, "Open that cupboard." She said, "Oh gosh." And I said, "Go through to the garage and open that cupboard." She said, "Are you telling me something? Are you an alcoholic or something?" I said, No. I just don't want to get caught here, you know. So yeah, we've got stock, but you got to stock up, Andrew.
No, but we got caught. I mean, bloody Cyril played a bloody dirty on the whole country.
As he usually does.
Yeah, I know, but we hadn't got paid.
Okay.
Payday was on the Friday.
Yes, he announced on the...
And the bottle stores were closed, and he announced on Sunday they closed altogether.
Yeah. So, well, if you need a bottle of scotch or a couple of bottles of wine, I'm sure Vaughan and I can help you out.
Dirty on us,
anyway, but okay. So we're talking about the July, and of course there's nerves, etc. Let's talk about the horses that you've got some lovely runners on the day, and let's share with the viewers your thoughts on them. And your races are the 3rd, the 7th, the 9th, and the 10th. Black Nap's your first runner. He won very well last time. How's he doing? Yeah,
he's doing exceptionally well, Warren. He had a super run in the Sledgehammer where he came from last to run second, beaten ahead or something. I was very impressed with that run, and then he won a very good race in the Lonsdale. I thought it was a particularly good one. The race wasn't really run to suit him. They went very, very slow, if you remember, in the race, and it just, I was so very happy that he quickened up like he did and got there. So on Saturday, 200 metres shorter, and I think they will go a stronger pace, which I think will suit him more. I think he's a big runner.
Oh, then the big one, the Vodacom Durban July, and you've got two, I don't know if two strings to your bow is the right analogy or whatever it is, but you've got two very competitive runners. Let's start off with Rascallion, he's a good horse. He's a good horse, and I won't say coming good because his form's always been good, but he's peaking at the right time. Is that safe to say that?
Yes, I think so. And it's well documented that I made a huge mistake running him in the Sledgehammer at Maritzburg. It was only 5 weeks before that we gelded him, plus the trip up here, and things just might have been a bit rushed.
Sure.
And it wasn't his true run, but I think he pulled the rabbit out the bag in the Daily News and ran a cracking second. So he has improved since that run quite a lot. And Sean's very, very happy with him. I think he'll be a contender.
Well, the one thing that sort of worried me when he came back from that gallop the other day, he was sweating quite badly.
Andrew always does. Yeah, but normal. If you notice that they went down and just galloped, but on race day he goes down with the earmuffs, which helped.
Yeah.
And he was a lot worse before we gelded him, a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah.
So with the earmuffs it does quieten him down a bit. Yeah.
And Bryn Wrestle and Marsh Shirtliff, they're having a good time, and shame they'll be gutted like everybody else. They won't be able to be there, but they're
absolutely. Well, Bryn is still stuck in Cape Town, but Marsh came up earlier, so he's stuck in the oyster box.
I believe actually there's a whole not a whole host of, but there's a handful of owners that are in Umhlanga, and I think the oyster box is doing. They've got an in-house cinema. And they're having the big screen there, and there's a handful of owners are going to meet and watch with the states, and all together they're going to just have a July afternoon at the Oyster Box, which is wonderful.
So they won't be meeting at the George.
They won't be meeting at the Oyster Box. Okay, Vaughan. Then of course Linebacker, handsome son of Captain of all for the Gobblers and the Truter family. And he's just winning so well. Yeah, no,
he's been a revelation. For a horse a horse that won the sprint races, and out of a mare that won over sprint races, all of a sudden going a mile and a quarter and the 2-2 of the July. It's a miracle as far as I'm concerned. But he's one hell of a horse, and we always thought he was a decent horse, but he's even surprised me.
Yeah, I remember before the Derby in Cape Town, everybody had reservations about him seeing out the 10 furlongs.
Absolutely. But he's a top horse, and he was desperately unlucky in the Cape Guineas as well. To get beaten a short head after racing 4 wide most of the way. But he's certainly come into his own now, and he's looking magnificent. His work has been tremendous. So we're all on track.
Yeah, and you said to me that when I wrote that, I hope he keeps straight. He had an excuse.
Yeah. Grant, he hit the front earlier than we think he did in the Daily News 2000, and he started to idle. So Grant, the only way he could get him going without giving him a couple of smacks, he let him drift across to a companion on the inside. Yeah.
Right, then I'm in my place.
There's never any malice. I mean, that's what we discover. We learn. I was talking. There was another journalist around this morning that was talking to Eric Sands about tactics and what they're going to do and how they're going to. So we learn and we share as much information as we've got. Okay, Gainsford's a reserve runner in the post-mergence.
Yeah, he's got to run now.
Has he got to run? Yeah. Okay, I haven't checked it. So he's got to run. Okay, how's he going to do?
I think he'll run a good race. He was desperately unlucky in the In Full Flight Stakes. If you looked at that film, I mean, how Grant stayed on him, I don't know. And he only just got, touched off, I think 2 or 3 or 4 lengths or something. And he was an unlucky loser. And then, of course, the next time he ran at Greyville, he got left. As the gates opened, he fly jumped and came from last to run 4th. On Saturday he's drawn 5 now. He's picked up a good draw, and Grant's riding him. I think he's a big runner.
He, as you say, he's been unlucky in his a couple of starts, and if
so.
things go his way, because I mean he's a handsome son of Give Me the Green Light, and he can run a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll certainly respect him on Vodacom Durban July Day. And then your last charge is in the 10th race, just the 10 races, Andrew. So because of
home early
because of home early, and if home parties, if whoever's successful, they'll be partying at home. Silver Operator, he's in the 10th race. In a good space?
Yeah, very much so. I thought he would win the King's Cup, so I brought him up early.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he pulled up lame in the King's Cup, so it was a bit of a battle, and we were behind the game all the time, trying to get him ready and get him fit. His last run was a good run when he ran forth to do it again, and in a hot field. And he's doing exceptionally well. Luke Ferraris rode him yesterday and just said he's a completely different horse. So, he's looking well. His work's been good. He's been thrown a few workouts with the top horses, and he's handled them very well. So I think from a draw 8 over a mile at Gravel, he's in with a chance.
Well, it's lovely to get the feedback and to get Vaughan's thoughts, and we could sit and we could talk for hours with Vaughan, because that's what his career is. But I'm not going to hold you much longer. Just all that's left is from Andrew and I and all of us at the podcast team and at Gold Circle. We wish you well, and holding thumbs that we'll be chatting to you in the number 1 box on the big day. But win, lose or draw, you're doing so well, and we just wish you all the very. Before you go, Vaughan, sorry, but last question: what do you? We've just thought of it now. The future for you? I mean, just saying, are you going to just crack on as long as you sane and happy, or what are your goals?
I mean, to be around as long as I can.
Yeah, not that you need to achieve. I mean, you've achieved everything at the highest level. But what's your? Can we see Vaughn Marshall for a bit longer?
Definitely, because I've got to live long enough to be a pain in the butt to my son.
Stephen, did you hear that?
But really, I'd like to say thank you to Gold Circle, to Hollywood Bets, and to everyone associated with racing in KwaZulu-Natal. It's been a wonderful trip, and we'll be back for more, for sure.
That's what we wanted to hear.
Good.
That's fantastic. Vaughan, well, from us, from Andrew and I, thank you for your time. All the very best, and may the best horse win, and let's hope it's Linebacker or Rascallion.
Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Thanks, Vaughan.
There's lots of news to talk about for this week's Horses to Follow podcast with Andrew Harrison and Warren Lenferner. Andrew, let's start off and talk about Muzi Yeni being stood down from his 7 engagements at the Vaal. Must be a reason why Muzi's not riding.
I actually missed that, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, yeah. The news report on our group says he's not riding for the at the Vaal, so stood down.
I hope he's not injured, because
he's on. Give me the got the green light.
The green light, yeah.
No, I'm sure it's whatever reason it is, but Muzi not riding at the Vaal. How good is she as a keeper? That's what I bumped into. Gareth Van Zyl. This week, it's Thursday today, Friday tomorrow, the big ones on Saturday, and most people get a bit jumpy. She's a keeper, and I didn't want to press Gareth because there's been press all over the place. How good do you think she is?
I think she's pretty good, but whether she's good enough to win, I'm not quite sure. I tried to press Warren after the gallops, and he said he's not quite sure how good she is. What worried me a bit, I thought she was a little bit of a slight filly. So if she can't take the knocks and the bumps, that's worrying me. If she keeps out of trouble,
and has a nice clean run in transit. She could be there.
Yeah, boy.
I agree with you. So the question is, how good is she? I think she's quite good.
Well, she won the World Sports Betting 1900, but she only had 50 on her back. But she's only got 52 and a half now. Yeah.
Just double check. Yeah, let's just double check.
52 and a half.
I just want to double check. 52, you see, that's why I doubled 52 and a half. Whether it is 52, but it's a nice lightweight. So I think she'll run very well, and I think she's quite good. So to answer the question that was put to us to discuss on the news section, I think she's quite good. I think she's going to run very well. You happy with that?
I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Okay. Rainbow Bridge, set to carry top weight, giving weight all over the place. Eric Sands is naturally concerned. I think there's a lot of people that are concerned, but I'm not as concerned. This horse has been super impressive this year.
I actually spoke to Donovan Dillon on Tuesday. He works closely with that stable, and he said this is the best he's seen him. He said he's absolutely flying at home, and he's in a really, really good space. So they're expecting a big run.
And then just to end the news section on a bit of a sadder note, Kuni De Beer passed away. He was the trainer of Talk to the Stars. He was the owner trainer. And on the many times that I spoke to him when he came to KwaZulu-Natal, a great man.
Yeah, he was a great man, and he wasn't shy to run his horses with no shoes in
yes,
in feature races. Yeah, no, he was. Apparently, he used to have briars at his stables at the Vaughan almost every day. So
lovely.
People used to enjoy that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, Kuni De Beer, to the whole De Beer family, may Kuni's soul rest in peace. And from all of us here at the Horses to Follow podcast, our thoughts and prayers are with you. But that's a wrap for the news section. It's a big weekend. The Vodacom Durban July on Saturday. Saturday, not Saturday. It hasn't got a D in it.
Before we go
off
the news, for everybody in Durban, if you can't get into a nanny goat, a tote, you can go through to the drive-in facility at inside of Greyville. You come through the gate 16, which is the entrance to Royal Durban Golf Club. There's some signs there. You drive through. They'll take your bet, and then you come out of DLI Avenue. So if you're stuck for a place,
brilliant concept.
Yeah. So if you want to get on and you don't want to get COVID, that's the way to go.
That's the way to go. So I do believe that the totes are open. The totes, I think they
are open. Yeah,
but you just there's no TVs on. There's no in and out. In, take your bets and gone.
Yeah.
But that drive-through, I've already used it because I start taking a whole host. I mean, it's brilliant. So it really is an easy way of getting your bets on. So go and take your bets. Get your bets on early that they open. You can go now and take a bet. So well spotted, Andrew. Good point. And just also before we end the news section, our sponsors still very much on board. They're just having a few technical issues to sort out their advertising slides and their videos and all that. That's still well under control. So we really look forward to having the CEO of Megatech Solar with us very soon, and to launch the official sponsorship of this podcast. So it's all systems go. We're just waiting for the technical department to get their ducks in a row. But Megatech Solar, we're looking forward to being part of your team. Okay, as I said, the big one, the Vodacom Durban July around the corner. More about that in a moment. As we said, 10 races on the Vodacom Durban July race card, and a scintillating race meeting awaits. Let's go through and talk about our selections, and we're starting off with the first race.
A good place to start.
Yes, a good place to start. It's at 11:15. The Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup. It's for fillies. A non-black type event for 400,000.
Fillies. Yeah.
Fillies. Okay. Who do you like? What did you tip? Why?
Went for Big Burn. I thought that was a very good win, beating Eastern Bell. Eastern Bell was with Corne Spess, and he's put her in a couple of features since. So, I think the draw might be a bit of a problem, but I think she'll be all right.
Okay, Andrew Harrison likes Big Burn. I'm in the camp of number 11, the daughter of Rafif, Juliet Tango. I think plenty of scope to improve on her debut performance, but obviously is drawn deep. Not an easy race. We're just giving you our choices, what we like. Use it, don't use it, because it's not as easy as that. There's a lot of horses in a lot of races that have got big chances. The second race is the Bloodstock South Africa Sales Cup, this time for Colts and Geldings. It's a non-black type event, also for 400,000 Rand. I'll start, and I see you and I have tipped the same horse. I like Bard of Avon. I thought that second, I watched that race with you, that second in the Group 1 was brilliant.
Yeah, it was, and I see it's 8 to 10, so you're not going to get rich.
Well, the short price winner is better than a long price loser, of that we have no doubt. The third race is the Hollywood Bets 2200. It's a grade 3, and they're going to race for 150,000 Rand over 2,200 metres. And again, you and I like the same horse, and lovely to hear from Vaughn Marshall on the show that his horses are in a good space, and I like Black Nap.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good win last time. Matterhorn is running in the Vodacom Durban July. I thought it was an excellent run. I think he's the one to beat. What about Silver Host? Didn't make the July.
Didn't make the July for whatever reasons, but Silver Host certainly has to have a big chance. Justin Snaith made no secret that this horse he thought was the best stayer around. He's got solid form. He won very well last time. I make Silver Host the biggest danger to Black Nap, and I'll be taking as many boxed exactors as I can. Silver Host, Black Nap, but I'm in the camp of Black Nap from Silver Host. Are you the same?
No, I've gone Flying Carpet for second.
Okay.
I thought that was a good run to Linebacker. And Sean Terry will be firing on the day, that you can guarantee.
The fourth race is the Dstv Gold Vars, a Group 3 event for 150,000 Rand. It's all about stamina. It's all about who can outstay who. And I like the Port Elizabeth horse. I had a look at this horse, Atyab, at the stables here in KwaZulu-Natal the other day. Atyab, he's travelled well. Zietsman Oosthuizen tells me he's doing well. And they're expecting a nice run from him. He's just on his coat and on his well-being and knowing that he stays so well. I know it's not going to be easy, travelling, etc., but I think he's going to run an absolute cracker. He's my strong each-way selection.
Yeah, Zietz was quite positive this morning. I spoke to him.
Oh, did you speak to him?
At Ashburton.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Did you see him there?
I saw him there, yeah. But I'm going for Baybury. I think he's come right at just the right time. That run in the Lonsdale behind Black Nappy was just run out of it at the last bit, and I think he'll come on lengths from that. So draws a bit of a concern over the 3,000 metres because he's going to have to, get that short straight before he hit the turn. But he's my bet, Baybury.
Did you see? Yes, you did see. You saw Zietsman. Did you see the horse?
No.
Oh, was the horse not at track?
No, it was there, but he was just walking around in the ring at the top there.
Okay.
He wasn't doing any work.
Okay, and he was obviously with Tini.
Yes.
Okay.
Good Afrikaans boys.
Okay. So
but Tini was speaking in English.
Speaking the English, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said he's changed to KZN now. He has to speak English.
We have also, must just make mention that, sorry, I'm pulling.
Pulling my way. Leave it alone.
Yeah, you're naughty. I've just, we must make mention to our friends and viewers that we have moved location because where we were started to record earlier, there was a little bit of shade and everyone could see.
And now I'm running out of shade again.
Yeah, now the sun's chasing you, so we're chasing the shade. So we have moved. We're out a little bit further at the Summerveld Clubhouse. So it's the same show, the same recording. We're just moving to try and keep away from the sun. I need to keep away from the sun because of my hot, bald dome. The fifth race on the card. You go right, Bushy. You got lots of hair still.
Yeah, I've still got plenty of Thatcher.
The fifth race is the Zulu Kingdom Explorer Golden Slipper, a grade 2 for 250,000, and also a very tricky race. Quite a few in with chances. Hard to say who's going to win, but I've got a value selection here. But what do you like for first?
I've gone Kayleen. I thought she's doing very, very well. Form's hard to fault. Distance suited. Good draw. Yeah, I think she might be at the. But I see Desert Miracle, Mike de Kock. Unusually, he's only got one runner on a day like this, and that's Desert Miracle. And I see it's 5-2 favourite. The last time I looked at the boards.
When I spoke to him in Johannesburg when she ran second to Heaven's Girl, I was there. I spoke to him in the second box. He said to me, she's a very smart filly.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. I like a bit of Mbewu, number 12. The way Mbewu won on debut, beating Sprinkles. Sprinkles has since come out and won. So I was really impressed with her performance. She could be anything. And my value in the race is number 1, Mariah. But let's move on to the sixth race, the Durban Golden Horseshoe, a grade 2 event for 300,000. Let me start. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah,
Okay,
carry on. Yeah. No. I see Castletown as favourite. Stuart Pettigrew.
And I'm not surprised because I like Castletown. Silvana Gelding out of a Fortwood mare. Really impressed on debut. They backed Castletown and he got down, he dug down deep and he won a good race. He could be anything. He's my narrow first choice, but we could go on and make a case for a lot of horses in this race. Even Good Traveller can bounce back to best. There's quite a few with chances. Ignore It's About Time's last run. Retallick won very well last time. Speaking to the Miller stable, Kahana Kalani is their best runner on the day. Plenty in with chances. So for me, Castletown, but no confidence. What do you like?
No, I've gone Cavalier King, just because you didn't mention it.
Okay, so that's your choice.
Yep.
Vodacom Durban July. 2 million Rand Group 1. Oh, what top quality racing. Just give me your first four, and I'm going to give my first four because with the Vodacom Durban July, we can sit here and talk for 2 hours about it, but we haven't got the time. What is your first four?
I've got the green light, Rainbow Bridge, Comedy Dung, and Linebacker.
A little different. I've gone Linebacker from Rascallion, from Rainbow Bridge, and got the green light. And I'm even going to give you a fifth choice. Do it again.
Right. Well, you've got the
first five,
so you can just take a quartet scrambled. What boxed?
Moving on. Let's go to the race which is straight after the Vodacom Durban July, a Group 1, 750,000, the Johnson Workwear Garden Province Stakes. For me, I know some are saying it's a one-horse race. I think it's a two-horse race. I think Captain's Ransom is going to give plenty of cheek to War of Athena. I'm going War of Athena, Captain's Ransom, Box Exactors, two-horse race. I think we're in for an absolute thriller.
Yeah,
you think it's a one-horse race?
No, I think it's a three-horse race.
Three? Who have I missed out?
Left out Princess Colour.
Okay.
On that Guineas, I don't think she saw out the 10 furlongs of the Will Lavington. In the Guineas, she only got going late, and I think she might just give Captain's Ransom a skiddick.
Okay. Good point, fair point. Of course she's got a chance. She's got the form. I mean, the comment I made in the race card here is that she's knocking at the doors, talented, and should go close to winning. But it's all about structure. My pick six, I'm going to have to include a few horses throughout the day. I'm going to go fairly light in the Vodacom Durban July, and I have to go two horses in the Garden Province. Yeah. If I have to put one more in, it would be Princess Colour. Okay. So you say it's a three-horse race. I say it's a two-horse race. And I think if the winner comes out of any of those three, it'll be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I remember we asked Richard Ferree at the Gallops what he thought of Princess.
He was upbeat.
He was upbeat. Captain's Ransom.
He was
upbeat. No, he said, have you ever seen a good horse? Good horse will win from any draw. So, yeah.
And a good horse she is. The Post Merchants Grade 2 is the 9th race, the penultimate race. I'm like you. I'm in the camp of MK's Pride, but like you, healthy respect for Casimir.
Yeah, I think Casimir's. They both got blinkers on for the first time, which I think might make the difference, especially Casimir. The old horses with blinkers first time, they often run above expectations, but he's a top sprinter, and he's won on the course. He won the Mercury Sprint two seasons back. And then Vaughan's quite upbeat.
Yes,
Gainsford.
The reserve runner up and Gainsford gets in. So.
It's quite often those reserve runners always come up on you, eh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The 10th race is the Compendium Insurance Brokers Handicap, a listed event for 100,000. For me, 8 Silver Operator, big runner, and my roughie in the race, my lurker, is number 7 Wild Coast. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think most people are glad that it won't be in the exotics, because I think you'd have to put in at least 6 or 7 runners here. I've gone, I don't even know how you pronounce it, Cupiera.
Capoeira.
Yeah, Andre Nels Gelding. Good run to Crown Towers last time, and I think he'd be primed for this race.
Can you believe it? The Vodacom Durban July of 2021. Behind closed doors, unfortunately. Let's talk about that, and just lucky that we were able to get the race run and just to get all these champions competing. But yeah, behind closed doors. I was sitting on Monday at the race meeting, and Monday is normally a very quiet day. And I was sitting with Graham Hawkins, and I said to him, Graham, are you telling me that what we're seeing here, which is nothing, is going to be like on Vodacom Durban July Day? He said, that's exactly what you're going to see. Nothing. No people, no spectators, no crowds, no owners, no nothing. The bare essential staff, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, you can always watch it on television.
Huge broadcast.
Dstv are putting on a good show. I don't know what channel number do you know?
I've just only increased my DSTV package, so I'm not too sure what all the different channel numbers are yet, but obviously it's on 249 Teddy Track, but there is on DSTV, there's Super Sport, there's lots of coverage this year, and I think everybody's been mindful of the fact that it is behind closed doors, and we've got to get this race meeting and this production around the world, and that's exactly what they're doing. The team are going out of their way, and it's going to be world class. So I'm not sure, to answer your question long-windedly, what the channel numbers are.
You can do channel hop,
but it's on Super Sport. It's on, I believe, Sky's taking us, DSTV, SABC. It's just going to be brilliant.
Right. So
are you coming?
I will be there.
You will be there. I will be there as the journalist. Okay, well, there's nothing else we can say. There's just one thing we want to say. Well, one or two things we want to say. Stay safe, sanitize, keep your social distancing. Let this dreaded third wave come and go as quick as possible, and hopefully it bypasses all of us. And just be safe, look after yourselves, look after your families, punt well, get your bets on timelessly, because internets can clog up and all that.
Well, it's, the pick six is starting off with 5 million in the pot.
Brilliant.
So
get your bets on. Get your bets on, and we'll see you as always in the number one box come Saturday. But just be safe, and thanks for all your support. Remember, be kind. And the last thing we want to ask you to do is we're going to play a little game. We're going to ask you to spot the difference. And we're not talking about we were sitting there and we're now sitting here. That's not spot the difference. We told you about that. But something's changed. And we're not going to tell you what it is. We want to see if you can pick it up. And I'm not going to tell you the story why it's changed, because then I'll give it away, but it's changed. Can you spot the difference? If you can, please comment. Put your comments in the comment section and tell us what it is that Andrew and I have changed. From all of us at the Hollywood Bets Gold Circle Horses to Follow podcast, proudly sponsored by Megatech Solar. Be safe and goodbye.